Oh man, iPhone 9, iPhone SE2, whatever they're going to call it. Finally, we're getting it for real this time. But of course, if you watch the show, then you already knew that. Also, Tim Cook, he's gonna murder me. Want tech news in a way that doesn't suck? Then hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications because you're stuck inside right now. You don't got a choice. Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Front Page Tech, the show that gives you all that is tech news from one geek that is me to another that is you. Happy Saturday, another special edition Saturday episode because a lot of work went into today's episode, got a lot of information. These episodes, again, have been packed lately. This is current live footage of Tim Cook. All right, I'm just kidding. It's just jokes, okay? But seriously, if I go missing, you know where to look. All right, so first up for the day's story, numero uno. Finally, it is that time. We have arrived at iPhone 9 or iPhone SE 2020, whatever they call it. The point is, we have been trying our best to keep you updated on this device. It's been so mysterious. First, it was supposed to come out in March, but then we were the first ones to tell you that that wasn't going to happen. It was delayed, and it was actually late last month that we started telling you that Apple was having internal meetings considering releasing the phone in mid-April. In fact, before April started, I gave you the dates. Announcement being Wednesday, April 15th, and then shipments happening on the 22nd, or as I mentioned on this show before, a cute little wild card just to throw off OnePlus where Apple announces iPhone 9 or iPhone SE2, whatever, on that Tuesday. That would be April 14th and ships on the 24th instead. Either way, whichever fun date they choose, we told you is going to be week 16, calendar week 16. And guess what week we're entering, boys? Calendar week 16. Even after the media has been running with and telling you like imminent launch as soon as last Friday, which then became early this week, which has come and gone. That's not a thing. It didn't come out. Well, we over here at Front Page Tech never budged from our dates. We kept telling you mid-April, 14th, 15th, week 16. And it seems that the media has finally caught on. Finally, they figured it out. And if you scroll down into the article, you can see they finally mentioned me. That's not me. Who the f*** is Jeff Poo? Okay, all right. So have we gotten to this point? Has it gotten this bad? Has it gotten so bad that the media won't use my name? They won't credit me, but they'll credit a guy named Poo? For real? Did you see, guys? Pooh said, me. Listen, I know the media hates me, but come on, guys. Anyway, okay, I'm listening. What else did Pooh say? Oh, he also said at least one iPhone 12 is delayed and will come in October? What? For real? That is so weird. I feel like we like heard that. Well, I've heard that somewhere before. Wait, what? For real? Am I reading this right? This John Pauser guy said this too? Last month he said this? What? That's so crazy. Cause I could have sworn John Prosser was a fraud with no sources and he's faking it, making it all up. I read that on Reddit, so it must be true. Man, this is crazy, huh? This is crazy, guys. That silly John Posner guy at it again. But for real, it's time. Week 16, we are entering your butthole. Everybody, guys, girls, enjoy iPhone week this week. Let's have some fun. I know it's a weird time for Apple to be releasing a product, right, because of the current circumstances globally and the economy and all that other stuff. But we got to remember that these companies are still companies that have responsibilities as businesses. They still answer to shareholders. They still got to put stuff out. And nobody really has a good idea when the economy, when the world globally is going to start doing better. So there's not going to be a perfect time to release this stuff. The difference is, as a business, you know, you either release it or you don't, and selling some phones is still better than selling no phones. They're not naive, they know they're not gonna sell as many, but like, what are you gonna do? It's not perfect circumstances, you still gotta be a business. Hold up, wait a second. What if it didn't come out this week? What if 9 to 5 Mac was wrong, and I was wrong, and it just doesn't come out in April at all? Oh, I would be so mad. Okay, so next up, all exclusive stuff. We worked really hard on this story for you, and I can't believe we're to this point. We're gonna talk about AirPower, and believe it or not, personally, I think this project is more alive than ever, even before they canceled it officially at Apple. Like, it looks to me like they're more committed to AirPower than ever before. Last month, I broke the story that AirPower was not dead, that internally, Apple was back to work trying to re-engineer it. And then a few days later, I gave an update saying that Apple believed AirPower was necessary to help push a portless future. I mean, if you've been watching this show for a long time, you've heard me say it time and time again that Apple will go portless on an iPhone before they ever put USB-C in that thing. The project carried the codename Callisto, which was the same codename that the original AirPower had, and it had fewer coils inside of it along with less overlap to try to prevent it from overheating. Now, since then, since those original tweets, I have secretly been working on this story literally every single day. Personally, I'm just fascinated by it because it's a project that Apple told us was canceled because it didn't meet their standards. They never cancel things that have been announced, and it fascinates me because Apple is stubborn and just doesn't want to give up on this project. And I get it. I know a lot of you are saying, like, why is it so hard for Apple to make a wireless charger? So many other companies make wireless chargers that support charging of multiple devices. Like, what's the big deal? Yeah, other companies have similar products, but AirPower is not those. AirPower is more than that. Of course, whether it's necessary or not is a completely different argument. We know Apple, they're going to try to Apple this up, and they're stubborn. The whole idea with AirPower is that you can just set devices anywhere on the mat. It's supposed to work like magic because the thing internally is packed with coils, again, that overlap. Here's the original patent. Whereas, other chargers, other charging mats will just have individual coils that you have to perfectly place your device on. And that's just not good enough for Apple. They even had an A10 processor in the original one that helped manage things inside. Now, again, I don't know why. I'm just really personally fascinated by this story, and I have been secretly working on this every single day trying to gather info for you since I first reported about this. The issue is that I'm stubborn too. I didn't want to just give you guys info. I also wanted to give you guys a picture. Remember last week sometime when it was reported that Apple will be letting engineers work on prototypes from home? Yeah. So, that was a mistake. I was ready for that shit. While working from home, engineers on Apple's sharing and proximity team are receiving prototype units of something called C68. So no one is calling this AirPower, but As I mentioned before, the project is internally codenamed Callisto, and this prototype is called C68. C for Callisto and 68 for the 68th functioning prototype. Again, this prototype was sent to employees' homes, so the picture is purposely quality to protect that source. There were all sorts of hoops that were jumped through to make sure we protected this person. Now, I know you're all down in the comment section typing, but John, you said the team that their source was on. Apple can catch them really easy now. Shh, listen, hey, people, whether I say the team's name or not, Apple knows which team they sent the prototype units to. Trust me, let me do this part of the job. The person is safe. Now, that team, Apple's sharing and proximity team, typically works on software that enables communication between devices. In this case in particular, they are being asked to work on software communication between devices for a future product that has an A11 inside to dynamically manage heat. Okay, now this is where it gets interesting. Remember when we kept hearing that AirPower was canceled because of the heating issues? Yeah, I got the details on that too. You see, the Apple Watch doesn't use just regular old standard Qi charging. Nope, because again, Apple is stubborn. The Apple Watch uses a specific tweaked proprietary charging method. And because of that, it actually requires more energy to charge. So in previous prototypes for AirPower, if you placed an Apple Watch on the mat alongside other devices, the entire mat would overheat and in most cases just combust. That's real. That's not a joke. It would just Basically, what I'm saying is the reason AirPower failed the first time was 100% the fault of the Apple Watch. Because Apple had to put a proprietary charging method in that watch, they f***ed themselves. Their other products are just using standard Qi charging like everybody else, and they work perfectly fine with AirPower. Like, if you set 3 iPhones on the mat, cool, they would charge, all of them would charge, it would be fine. But if you set 2 products on the mat plus an Apple Watch, yeah, the thing would draw too much energy and the whole thing would overheat and burst into flames. I have personally seen a video of one of these things combusting and the leather just instantly igniting. Oh, but wait. It gets better. Remember right before they canceled it, it really looked like it was right about to launch, like it was leaking everywhere. We saw it posted on the website at one point. That's because it was. It was ready to ship. In fact, Apple had 50,000 retail units ready to go. Now, they only had 50,000 initially to try to just give it a limited launch. But ultimately, when it really came down to it, right before launch, they decided it wasn't worth the risk and they canceled the project. And they had those 50,000 retail units that were originally ready to ship destroyed. Fast forward to today, the C68, the current working prototype, it has an A11 chip inside of it. Now wait, what? An A11 chip? Like, isn't that a little bit of overkill? Well, yes and no. First of all, the A11 chip was the first one that could dynamically manage heat. Do you see where I'm going with this now? They aren't using the entire power of the A11 chip the same way they would in an iPhone. Some of its functions are disabled. In this case, the job of the A11 in this new prototype is to route power to specific coil regions and dynamically wait for temperatures to drop before applying more power. Doing this will prevent it from overheating. So instead of when you place an Apple Watch on it and the whole thing gets hot, instead it can just dynamically route heat only to the Apple Watch portion, preventing the whole thing from getting hot. And if it does get a little too hot, that A11 chip can reroute the energy, take it away, and wait for the temperatures to cool. Honestly, like, if you really think about it, the technology in this is incredible. So much work and innovation for what is on the surface, on the outside to the rest of the customers, is just a fucking mat. A wireless charging mat like all the other ones. Now, at this point, like, whatever, man, just give us a charging mat. It doesn't have to be like this. Like, to me, this is a little bit unnecessary, but I get it. It's Apple and they're stubborn. So there you go. I have been working on this story really hard for you, and Tim Cook is for sure gonna kill me. But I'm actually rooting for Apple on this one. I know that they were disappointed that they had to publicly admit that they couldn't make it work, and I would just love to see them actually pull it off and follow through and not give up on this, even if it is a little unnecessary. So there you go, internet. My work here is done. I'm now taking the info and tossing it over to you. You do with it whatever you'd like. Let us know down in the comments, is this something you're interested in? What do you think? Do you think it's unnecessary? Or, like me, are you sort of rooting for Apple on this one? And also, just a huge quick thank you to all the sources that helped me with this. Yeah, I might be the one that publishes the info, but they are the ones that did the work. They're the ones that worked together on this with me. They risked a lot to get this information for you, for me, and so we can all enjoy a little peek behind the scenes. And that's it. That's it for today's special Saturday episode. If you liked it, you learned something, hit the like button. If you hate my stupid face, lots of people do, hit the dislike button. If you're new here, subscribe. Everyone stay safe. Wipe your butts, wipe your hands. We'll see you guys on Monday.